Are these time travel tales true or fiction? We'll leave that up to you. We'll look over the oddest and most absurd claims of time travel experience in this compilation. Are you ready? Let's get started. Number 10. John Titor. Online postings from this supposed time traveler grabbed the internet by storm in the early 2000s. In a parallel universe, John Titor claimed to be a US soldier from the year 2036. He posted blurry images of his time machine as well as ominous future warnings. Following an inquiry, it was found that Titor was most likely entertainment lawyer Larry Haber. However, there are some believers. Nevertheless, if he was real, our timelines must have diverged substantially, for his warning of a second American Civil War in 2004 didn't happen. Number 9. The Moberly Jourdain Incident. Anne Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, two Englishwomen, vacationed in France in 1901. They went to the Palace of Versailles, and when they were in Versailles, they went to the Petit Trianon, a little house on the palace grounds, something which Louis XVI gave to Marie Antoinette as a private area for her to hang out and do whatever she wants to do. However, they stated that while they were there, they witnessed some strange things. They claimed to have seen individuals dressed in period attire, heard mysterious voices, and seen buildings and other things that were no longer there, and hadn't been there since the late 1700s. They finally saw Marie Antoinette herself sketching in a sketchbook, they claimed. They reported to have entered a time slip and been taken back over a century before being shocked back to the moment by a tour guide. Number 8. Hutton and Brandt. J. Bernard Hutton, a German reporter, and Joachim Brandt, a photographer, were assigned a story on the Hamburg shipyard in 1932. When bombs started dropping around them after they arrived, the two guys were frightened. They hurriedly departed after shooting a few photos. No one at the newspaper believed them, and their photos revealed nothing unusual. Hutton was stunned 11 years later in 1943 when he read a report in an English newspaper about an Allied airstrike on Hamburg, filled with photos of landscape he knew. Is it possible that Hutton and Brandt jumped forward in time? Number 7. Andrew Carlson. According to the narrative, the FBI caught Andrew Carlson after he converted $800 into $350 million on stock exchange in a few months. He then revealed that he was a time traveler. Initial checks revealed that no records of him existed prior to December 2002. They believed he got his money by illegally getting insider trade information. But when they questioned how he did it, Andrew said that he was from the year 2256, and so knew precisely how all the stocks would do. Obviously, no one believed this narrative, and everyone concluded he was fabricating a huge lie, which in this situation seems like a very safe assumption. When Andrew was freed on bail, however, he vanished completely, and no one has ever been able to trace him despite several tries. To add to the conclusion, it is also claimed that he was able to foresee the precise day of the US invasion of Iraq. I'm not sure how, but the internet says so. Number 6. Sir Victor Goddard. RAF Air Marshal Sir Robert Victor Goddard claimed to have witnessed an incredible sight. During World War II, he was a senior commander, and during a flying mission in 1939, he felt he encountered what time travel enthusiasts call a time slip. He claimed to have seen a decommissioned Air Force facility in the village of Drem, East Lothian, transform before his eyes while flying above it. He discovered the base in a highly decrepit state when he flew over it, with animals grazing on grass that had forced its way through holes in the tarmac. Later that day, when flying his biplane in severe weather, he got into difficulty and decided to return to Drem to recover his bearings. The heavy downpour unexpectedly turned to brilliant sunlight as he reached the airstrip. He noticed the airstrip had been entirely refurbished and was now in operation as he glanced down. There were 4 yellow aircraft parked on the runway and technicians in blue overalls strolling about. This was strange because he had just seen the base, which did not look anything like this. So how could this have suddenly appeared out of nowhere? Number 5. Tarad Man. For any international tourist, going through customs may be a hassle. However, one visitor to Japan in 1954 had more trouble than others. When this unknown man arrived at Tokyo's Haneda Airport, he was held because his country didn't exist. The man claimed to be from a European nation located between Spain and France, which is now the microstate of Andorra, but he claimed that his country, Tarad, had formerly inhabited the same region. Even more enigmatic is the fact that he fled from the hotel room he was assigned, despite security stationed outside his door. His Tarad passport was also missing. Maybe he went back to the period or parallel universe from which he came. Number 4. Hipster at 1941 bridge opening. A time traveler was allegedly seen in a 1941 image of the reopening of the South Fork Bridge at Goldbridge, British Columbia. It was stated that his clothes and sunglasses were not from the 1940s, but rather from today. Women wear formal hats and robust overcoats, while males wear coats and ties. He's wearing a strangely trendy pair of sunglasses and what appears to be a printed t-shirt. He walked out of a Depeche Mode performance in 1990 and stepped onto a bridge in British Columbia in 1941, according to reports. Some have interpreted the photograph as proof of time travel's reality. Number 3. Year 5000 photo. What type of proof might a genuine time traveler provide? In 2018, a guy called Edward said to have traveled to the year 5000 and brought back photographic evidence. Edward claims he was chosen for a covert experiment in 2004 that sent him into the future. According to him, the submerged metropolis in the photo he uploaded is actually Los Angeles 3,000 years in the future. By that time, global warming will have inundated the planet, and humanity would be forced to live in floating cities like the one he photographed. We simply hope the future isn't like Waterworld, whether it's true or not. Number 2. Vanishing 1940 car. This narrative, which was first published in a magazine in 1988, involves two guys who, in an early day in Louisiana in 1969, came across a car from the past. The two noticed an older car while traveling on the highway. They saw the slow-moving car's license plate, which had the year 1940 on it as they got closer. They observed a mother dressed in 1940s garb and a terrified and perplexed youngster inside. The two were surprised to discover that the automobile had disappeared after indicating to her to pull over to check if she needed help. Another driver who was there at the time backed up their claim. We'll never know if it's true or not. Number 1. Noah. Noah, a guy claiming to be from 2030, passed a lie detector exam. Noah asserts that he was traveled forward in time, via many time periods, and returned with video from the future. He claimed to have made 2 trips in the years 2060 and 2120, during which he was able to video Las Vegas from the rooftop of a skyscraper. Noah ultimately takes out his phone, revealing a futuristic Las Vegas complete with modernized architecture and flying aircraft. The sky in the video has an odd blue-orange hue, which Noah believes reflects the future consequences of global warming. Noah's forecasts include enhanced artificial intelligence, a manned expedition to Mars, and cancer treatments. Unfortunately, a guy called Jason subsequently claimed to be Noah, and the whole thing was a fraud. That's the end. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.